Mark Rodriguez here with me are
Johnny Rodriguez.
And Jimmy Channels on this. Jimmy call me Wendy.
Yep.
Hi guys.
Yes, and you're watching the review Sanctum where everything and anything we reviewed, and we're gonna give Wednesday a break this time. We're talking about Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man 2.1 that was released in theaters for a limited time, and we got to see it where?
It was at the Century 18 movie theater at Samstown.
Yes, and we actually saw it with Jack Knives. He was, too busy to come review it with us and everything, but we saw it with him. It was pretty cool. We checked out the area. We checked out the Mystic Falls, and it's kind of cool because we've been there a couple of times before, but we never got to see the actual, like the water show.
The waterfall show.
With the music and the lights and all the animatronic animals, so that was pretty cool. And even though... Yep, and even though he didn't join us for the actual movie, we did meet up with Landmore afterwards and went to eat at a place. Yep, more. And we went to eat at the Smoky Joe Cafe and everything, and little things in there. I mean, I was supposed to get a pulled pork meal, I got a pulled pork sandwich instead, but it was delicious.
But yeah, I had the steak meal. It was alright. I mean, the coleslaw was like super duper 100% bland, and as a southerner, that's a no-no, man. That's crime. It's supposed to have some flavor there. There was no real flavor.
Okay.
I only had the basic bacon and ham, eggs type, meal with the hash browns and what else did it have?
You said the fries were bland or something like that?
Yeah, extra because they gave extra fries, and I had a taste of some of the fries, and they taste pretty bland.
Yeah.
It tastes angry.
Yeah, what happened is that it came with coleslaw, and I wasn't sure what kind of coleslaw I liked and everything, which in this case I guess would have been bland. So the original meal, I told them to replace the coleslaw with fries, so maybe that's why when they messed up with the thing, they still gave us the extra fries anyway, so whatever, extra fries for us and more.
Yeah, like I said, and also with the base you were asking about, pretty much all coleslaws have that kind of base. It's just the extra flavoring to it, whether it's going to have that vinegary taste or the more of the sweeter taste.
Yeah.
This had no taste.
Wow.
They went for option C, no taste.
Maybe I would prefer that one since I'm not that big of a coleslaw fan.
Yeah. So anyways, on to the actual movie itself. It's Spider-Man 2, it's a Tobey Maguire movie. And the big deal for us at least is the 2.1 version with extra deleted scenes that are in there. And the movie's like long, it's like 2 hours, 25 minutes. I'm believing because all the extra footage. And yeah, a lot of the footage here, you guys already know the story with Spider-Man and Doc Ock and the Mary Jane, the relationship, the will they, won't they, because Peter doesn't want her to know that he's Spider-Man and the risk that comes with being with Spider-Man to go after the enemy, all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna go into more into the deleted scenes, and for me, there's a couple of parts that make more sense now. They did show more scenes fleshing out, Peter Parker and some of the characters. I think for me, the most important part was when he went to the doctor after he lost his powers temporarily. And the doctor mentioned stuff about like how it's all in his mind and he has a choice and all that kind of stuff. And I think that helped explain more because I think the original movie, they might have mentioned a little some, but it did pretty much look like he just randomly lost his powers and then he randomly got them back. So this gave us more context.
Yeah, but now that you mentioned that, as I was watching it, even before they extended that scene, I was, I was remembering it as I was watching it, and I was remembering how I was feeling or my interpretations, and I had that interpretation without that extra context.
Yeah, but...
Unless, I don't know, I'm stereotyping, I don't know if women pick up on stuff like that easier, because it was more mental, and he was also stressed and all that other stuff, and when you're stressed or overwhelmed, it can affect you emotionally, and all that other stuff, so I actually got that when I really saw the movie.
Yeah.
So I just figured that's why he lost his power, but I had forgotten he lost his power until he started watching, he was having trouble, and you saw that everything that was affecting him was just so much on him, where a normal person would just explode, he was internalizing everything, which affected how, everything else. And since unlike other Spider-Man, other incarnations of Spider-Man, where, he has the canisters, so you make the canisters, and this is all made within his body, it makes sense why he would have trouble like that.
Yeah. And then the other thing too is that, and I remember hearing about it, but I didn't, see it till now. The scene where Dr. Octopus, or Octavius at that point, when he was first knocked unconscious after the big explosion that killed his wife and everything, and he was still in the hospital, and they were gonna, I guess, saw off the metal arms or whatever. the arms came to life and they attacked everyone, and it just killed everyone and slammed them into things and whatever. And I mean that did happen in the original, but here was way more drawn out and
Yeah,
more because of the screaming
It's more
and
bloody, I would say.
well, it
But there was no blood,
but it
It's
just
more
looked-
gory-ish, like very like horror movie-ish.
Mhm.
Like I
Yeah.
said, when I saw that, I said, wait a minute, and I was like asking Mark and all of them, like, is this scene longer to you? 'Cause I remember it being shorter than this.
Yeah,
And
and that's the thing. Jack was a good help. He was a good help in pointing out all the scenes because it's been so long since I've seen part 2. Like I said, back when we first bought it on VHS or DVD or whatever.
No,
And I've only seen it once, and that's when it was originally out. So
Yeah. So yeah, the original, like they thought that was gonna be too scary because remember it's still like a family kids movie, like too scary for the kids. So that's why it was cut down. So here we saw the full scene, you know. And then of course the scene that was the craziest scene. I've seen pictures, but I thought they were like fake. I didn't know it was real. But
oh my gosh.
when Spider-Man finally gave it up and he pulled the costume away, they did the whole Spider-Man No More, you know, reference with the cover panel reference and all that. And some random bum found it and gave it to Jameson. There's a scene that Jameson is jumping around in the Spider-Man costume in the office with people looking through the window. He's all pew 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 and all that. And I mean, the movie is, you know, a couple like 20 or so years old by now, I think. So I guess J.K. Simmons was in better shape back then, because I can't imagine him doing this now without breaking his back or whatever. And even when you made the joke that he'll do it, my back hurts, that's Spider-Man!
Yup, you know it. He's a menace. Look what he made me do. He made me put on the suit and hurt my back.
Oh man. And yeah, I don't remember any offhand other scenes that were more important. I mean, there was a scene where he was in the elevator because he lost his power, so he had to just use the elevator the regular way.
They gotta.
Yeah, that random dude. I don't get the point of that. Oh, I guess he wasn't he like
He worked in,
Sam
like,
Raimi's brother or one of those?
Yeah. So it was like he was like a marketer, and he would say, "Hey man, we can market you. We can do this, that. You know, make you good. You know, get you more out there." Yeah, so that was actually, and I can understand why they would have cut that scene because it wasn't very relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course you got the whole stuff now with Mary Jane, which thinking like back then whatever, but thinking now it's like what the hell. So in the last movie it was the whole thing where Peter Parker had to lie and be like he can't admit that he loves her because he doesn't want her getting into trouble, even though she gets into trouble anyway.
Yeah.
And like they have this whole scene where they're kind of talking, you know, like Mary Jane wants him to admit, like, Peter, isn't there something you want to say, and all that kind of stuff. And when that fails, she's like, oh, by the way, I'm dating someone.
Yeah, it's like, what in the world? And here's the thing, going into the movie, I said that I remember I disliked Mary Jane, but I couldn't remember why, because all of that block out nonsense. But as I was watching it and I was seeing that, she said, oh, that's why I started to hate her.
Yeah,
like her
so
character
douchey
point,
because
not Kirsten, but the character.
so she wanted Parker to admit that he loves her, but she's dating someone.
Yeah, like,
And
how
then-
did I do that?
And then later, when she's engaged and they're gonna get married like in a couple of days, he wants to be all like, I changed now, I love you now, I have time for you now, you know, reconsider the marriage. I'm like, dude, that's fucking douchey.
Yeah.
And that's the main character we're supposed to, you know, be rooting for.
That's very selfish. It was very selfish for him to put her in that situation.
Yeah. And then I'm not 100% sure if that one scene where even the bridesmaids were kind of talking to Mary Jane, like, yo, you're gonna marry this guy, which is James's son, the astronaut. And it's like, you know, do you really love him? But like, love him, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, he's like,
I think that was- might have
she's
been
like,
extra.
yeah, if you say he alright, then he alright, you shouldn't be getting married. He's alright.
Yeah, Mary Jane,
Yeah, she kind of,
she was kind of annoying in this movie. Making a lot of bad decisions.
Yeah, selfish ones too.
Yeah, and then also, I think that some of the fight scenes in the train, the Dr. Octopus and Spider-Man, some of those are kind of drawn out. I think some of them,
Yeah,
well, not drawn out, but extended, I should say, because
Yeah.
that was good action. I think there was a part where he was like hanging on the side of the train, had to avoid certain things. That part wasn't in the original.
Oh, was it?
And everything. It's hard to think. It's a fight. The whole fight was pretty awesome. It was one of the best
pretty
scenes.
fast paced, lots of action. Because watching that, I couldn't tell you if there was anything added or not because I just couldn't remember. I just remember it was like so much stuff was going on.
Yeah.
I think
That was a
I
real badass fight. like I said, that was clever of him to do that. Like it's like he couldn't beat him normally, or it would maybe take too long. So he just did that stunt with like breaking the train and stuff, so that Spider-Man would just wear himself out trying to stop it, and then when he's vulnerable, then take him down, and all that. That was clever.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah.
But okay, so what else do we say?
But one last thing I do want to say is that movies have changed. You know, nowadays we're all used to the post-credit scene. They don't do that anymore. So I'm thinking that this was like, if the movie was made now, this whole scene with Harry finding out about his father, that would have been the post-credit scene. Yeah. So any thoughts in general, Johnny? The action.
Well, the movie it's good on its own, even with a lot of the extra added, but of course the extra added stuff makes it more complete. It feels more, I don't know, just have a better conclusion of why things happen the way it happened. It just flows a lot better with the story, but I can understand why the original theater release they wouldn't be able to do the whole thing, because for one part of it is because it might be too violent for a lot of people to watch it, because they consider it more like a kids movie anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And then another thing, because it would make the movie way too long.
Yeah.
Like, people don't always have the patience to watch a 2 hour and 20 so minutes long movie.
Yeah, back then movies weren't like, at least not always that long. It would be kind of weird that the first one wasn't that long, the second one, oh my god, that kind of thing. What I want to say though about the movie is that, at least in the beginning a bit, it's like, wow, you have to have a lot of patience for people that want to see, the younger people that want to see just Spider-Man. If you notice, Spider-Man is barely in it during the first chunk of the movie. Like, he's mentioned a lot, it's implied a lot, Peter, why are you so tired? Or Peter, why did you miss the date? Or whatever, but you don't see too much of him actually being Spider-Man. Maybe just a little bit with the pizza and stopping some bank robbers or whatever, but him actually, like you didn't see more Spider-Man action until Doc Ock actually started showing up more, and all the fights, to fight at the bank, to fight the train, stuff like that. But I did find it kind of interesting that, I guess the movie was centering more about like how Peter's life was kind of, fucked up and depressing.
Yeah, it was more character driven, or like story building and character building than all the action stuff.
It's kind of like the soap opera of Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And his lack of love life. It's bad.
Right. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that until I saw it. So what I thought of it, I actually like this movie, and thinking back on it, I remember I thought the first movie was okay, and out of the three, just thinking about it now, the second one was a good one because I really did like Doc Ock. I totally had forgotten so much about that. I remember my feelings, like I liked it, but I don't remember everything, all the reasons why I liked it. I like what's the name playing Doc Ock, I think he's a good actor. But I did have the problem with the fact that, I had a problem with all the movies with this one. No matter where that web goes, he's going to swing on something. Especially when he saved Mary Jane, attached himself to a cloud and swung away.
Well, exactly. It's a good thing that cloud was up there.
I know, right? Yeah. So and I hated the fact he kept taking his mask off. I was like, okay, come on, dude. You're supposed to be keeping your secret identity. You're already broke as crap. If everyone knew who you were, you know how many people come after you for collateral damage? Did he not watch Futurama?
Yeah, that's a bad thing. It usually happens in movies when it's like a superhero has like their whole face covered. They always gotta try to find some excuse to show off the face so people can be reminded that it is indeed McGuire under there, not just a stunt double.
See, that's how
But I hate that though.
I said dumb. I'm saying you come into the movie, you should know who he is by now.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire is playing Peter Parker, who is Spider-Man. Boom, done. If you missed that part, you brain dead, and that's your you problem.
No.
No, but like there was just some place where he should not have been taking off his mask. And like, okay, you trying to stop the train and you gonna take off your mask? You know how many people gonna see this back? Oh, that drove me crazy. Even back then.
He took off his mask in front of Doc Ock, and then he surprised Mary Jane. So I'm like, Mary Jane was there the whole time, I guess he forgot.
Yeah.
But yeah, he keeps doing that a lot. But the movies just have so many moments. I like the part where he's trying to stop the train and the thing failed, and the random old guy, so you got any other bright ideas? And yeah,
of course,
I have a few.
And I was saying like, yeah, you come out here and do what I'm doing right now, and then you shut up and sit down. Okay, of course I wouldn't say that, because I'd be like, wait, what? I'd be too surprised, realistically. So I'm trying to see you. You up here want to tell me you bright ideas and go jump out the train. See how that helps?
No, man.
No, but of course with also the other thing I tell you I always like about these movies, this original trilogy, I love J.K. Simmons so much. He is awesome. He's still, he's still amusing. I love how he's no nonsense, but he has a comedic way of delivering the lines and all of that. I did enjoy that. But like I said, my least favorite part was all the subplot with Mary Jane. I thought it was selfish and I thought it was dumb. I thought Peter was just as dumb with the whole little, hey, can you go with me now? I love you. I'm getting married. Anyway, I love you, And I will say this. Gosh, this was so much better than that third one. So we won't get into that.
Yeah, if we ever get to that one, we'll get into that one. But anyways, any final comments there, Johnny?
Well, I think the movie is so good for the time period that it came out. Obviously, there are certain things that make the movie kind of dated because the CGI effects are not that great, and that kind of bugs me quite a bit because, I understand because the movie was made back then, but seeing it now with a modern lens, it looks
jarring.
Kind of annoying.
A little jarring.
A little too cartoony as well. Like everything looks, like you could tell, like CGI is not perfect. Mm-hmm. Even to this day, it's still not perfect. But it's getting to the point, in this film in particular, that there are scenes you could actually tell that this is animated, this is CGI, this is like, it just looks so fake.
Yeah, it's just interesting. At the time, it looks like whoa, but then looking at it now, like Johnny was saying, it looks so little, so like cartoony a little bit. Especially like most of the Doc Ock stuff, you can really tell.
With the train parts.
Yeah, especially with the
There
train.
were some scenes you could tell the whole scene was animated, like Spider-Man and Doc Ock with the train.
Yeah, or the fact that with the way Spider-Man swings around anyway, so that's always.
I mean, it's kind of hard because the thing is, Spider-Man, he does move in such a weird way that even in real life, if he exists, like it would look to us, it would look kind of cartoony because he does kind of like defy physics on it. Yeah.
Playing on the clouds.
Oh, okay. I don't know what the cloud part. But anyways, guys, we're gonna sign off for now. It's pretty cool, and a special shout out to Jack Knives and also Dan Moore. Jack Knives, between us, we're all making little jokes and comments during the movie.
Yeah.
Don't worry, the theater was kind of empty, so we weren't really bothering anyone with that and everything. And it was cool just to hang out with Moore in general, even though he did see us after the movie. But anyways, guys, RJ signing off here.
Johnny Rodriguez.
And this is Wendy. See you guys. Spider-Man, does ever a spider keep